Hi guys, it's Elle and today we are going to be attempting a cyber Y3k makeup look. If you don't know what Y3k is, it is basically a trend that started literally in the early 2000s, futuristic fashion and makeup. It's basically like retro futurism. It's how we envision the future in the early 2000s. We're going to be attempting that today. I have already put in some contacts. The contacts that I'm currently wearing are Meow Blue from Unibling. I have a code with them, loser444, to get a discount if you want these lenses. But without further ado, let's get started. Today I want a matte base because I think it'll just look better that way. The Y3k trend is slowly but surely making its way back into popularity, I feel like. I've been seeing a lot of Y3k inspired clothes from Japan and as well as a few makeup videos on Red Note. That's kind of where a lot of this inspiration is going to be coming from. My base is basically going to be the same that it usually is for most of my videos. I'm not going to do anything too new with the way that I do my base, but I'm still going to show you, obviously. I'm using BB cream because that's all I have, but I think a full cover foundation would go great with this look if you have some. I'm going to go in with my Clio cushion as concealer. And I'm going to kind of mimic that snatched look that I don't normally do, but I think it would just go great with this look. I kind of want to do blonde brows for this look, and I don't think the current eyebrow tint that I have is going to be bright enough, so I'm going to take some concealer and put it all over this spoolie and then try and go over my brows. This would probably be like much more effective if you have bushy brows, but I don't, so I don't really need a whole lot. And with that same concealer and a flat brush, I'm going to have to kind of draw the shape of eyebrows I want. I'm going to try and keep them relatively thin and carve them out with some bronzer in a sec. I chose this concealer specifically because it is a much thicker consistency, so I felt like it could stick to my brows a bit more. I am now going to take some bronzer, and this will probably be the only place I put this bronzer is to carve out my eyebrows. Because I'm already pale, so I need something slightly darker to make the blonde brows show up. I'm going to use another flat brush. I'm not seeing a whole lot of blush in most of the pictures that I'm seeing on Pinterest, so I'm just going to keep it with a cool tone pink. I plan to do a more silvery blue eyeshadow look, so I think the blue and the pink will look great together. Like I said, I'm not going to be going in with any type of bronzer because I feel like a lot of the looks are very cool tones. So I don't want a super golden base. I'm just going to go in with some cool contour. Now before I go on to my powders, there's one last thing I want to do for my base. I kind of want to do everything white. So I am first going to draw a little design on the center of my face. It's a little wonky. I'm then going to try and carefully put this in my inner corner. It's probably all going to blend together, but when I start putting on eyeshadow, you'll be able to see a difference. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and spray everything with some matte setting spray. I am now going to powder. While our face still looks like a wintry wonderland, we're going to take some full tone pink. It's a very pale pink, and that's kind of how I want to keep it. For me and my anatomy, I've noticed that I like blush when it's right below where I usually put my contour instead of too close to under my eye, if that makes sense. I am then going to take some contour powder and apply it where I put that cream contour. I'm gonna then take this pale peachy shade and kind of just go over my brows with it a little bit. I am then going to take some taupe bronzer and just kind of like line my brows with it. Now, welcome to the star of the show, my white eyeshadow. I'm going to be using this white eyeshadow clearly on this center star situation that I have, and also on my eyes. We're gonna see how that goes because I forgot the eye look I wanted to do. And I want to keep the center of it the most white. I'm going to attempt to put this strategically in the inner corners of my eyes without it blending with this design here. I am then also going to put this underneath my brow bone ever so slightly, but right underneath that little bronzer. I am then going to use this Take Me Back to Brazil palette for all the blues that I'm going to be working with. I think I'm going to take this blue and I'm just going to use my fingers really and dab it close to the white. And I think I kind of want to do a halo eyeshadow look, so I'm going to take that same eyeshadow and now just put it on the outer corner. I am then going to take the color blue next to it and deepen where I put the blue. And I'm going to take the excess eyeshadow off of the brush and then try and blend it a little bit. And that's just not deep enough for me, so I'm going to then take this shade and put the smallest amount. It's just a random drugstore palette. It may be too dark, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and put this gray eyeshadow in the center, and then if it's too dark, I will then add a little white to it. And ever so slightly, I will put some white eyeshadow in the center. I am then going to take this eyeshadow stick and put it on the gray. We are going to take this shade and put that on top where we just put that glittery eyeshadow stick, as it has a kind of wet feel, and so I want to set it. I'm gonna then take that same glitter and put that in the dead center of this and kind of blend it further out. And I'm gonna also use that on top of the white in the inner corners. I'm gonna take a dark brown in this palette and kind of line my bottom liner. And I want to leave a little bit of a space when I get towards the outer corner. I'm going to take a different shade in this palette and draw my aegyo cell, as I think an aegyo cell goes with every look, especially when your eye bags are as prominent as mine. I want to take a little bit of this blue right here. It's a slight shimmery shade, and I kind of want to like dab the center. I want to go ahead and get started on eyeliner, and when I do this eyeliner, I don't want it to go too close to this brown line that I've already drawn. I am then going to take some concealer and kind of clean up underneath. I want it to be like a very strong cut. I don't want any eyeshadow in this area. I'm going to do the rest of my eyeliner off camera. I've been struggling with eyeliner because all of my eyeliners are running out around the same time. I am going to attempt to do a lower eyelash stamp. Sometimes this works out good for me, sometimes it doesn't, so we're going to see what we're getting today. To be honest, I don't even know what happened. That's crazy. I don't know how I'm going to fix that. We're just going to do the other eye now. I just realized why that didn't work. I got my left and my rights confused. I can't undo it, so we're just going to do both of them backwards. I'm gonna make it look like it's on purpose. We're just gonna go ahead and go in with some mascara and hopefully hide the fact that I did that wrong. I think it's looking good so far, despite the mess up. For the lips, I kind of want to keep them plain, you know, very early 2000s concealer lips. So I am actually going to line my lips with a pale lip liner. And I think I want to just put silver kind of on my lips. But I'm not sure how good all of my silver highlighters are, so we'll see. On Red Note and just in the C beauty scene in general, I have noticed that a lot of brands are doing like grayish beige lip glosses, and I absolutely need one because they look so cool to me. Very early 2000s, yes, but it's also kind of like this grunge kind of look as well. I know Girl Code is a big brand that's doing this, and I honestly I need to get my hands on one, but for now I'm just using lip liner. I don't have the perfect brown liner for this, and I don't want to do just this. I want to make it a little something. So I'm going to take this taupe bronzer on this lip brush and literally use this as a lip liner. And so like I said, I want to put some silver on it. I want to do the silver mainly just on the top lip. So I'm going to take that same glitter eyeshadow stick from before and just put it all over the top lip. And I'll put a little in the center of my bottom lip. I am then going to take the same highlighter that I have been using and put it on top. And simply because of how bad my lips are, I'm gonna put some clear lip gloss on top. I am then going to put on a wig, maybe change my clothes, and come back with a finished look. This is the final look. I think this look turned out so well. It's better than I could have imagined. I literally had this idea written down so long ago, like since I discovered what Y3k was, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is an aesthetic I want to try out. That's like something I want to do. And then was dragging my feet on doing it because I just felt like I couldn't do it. I just felt like I didn't know what I was going to do for the makeup, really. But here's the final look. I am so pleased with myself. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a like, comment, and subscribe, as well as turn on notifications so you never have to miss another video. Bye!